So, amid pomp and pageantry in the heart of the capital, Abuja, Tinubu was sworn in as Nigeria's 16th president. Tinubu, who served as governor of Lagos State, took over from his fellow APC party member, Muhammadu Buhari, who served the maximum 2 terms in office. Arise correspondent Ferdinand Roha reports.
Light showers early in the morning, which paved way for a clement weather and hopeful spirits, are some of the signs that the inauguration was going to be peaceful. Staying to the plan, dignitaries started arriving as early as 8 a.m. Party members, top government functionaries, the diplomatic community, members of the executive and the Chief Justice and his entourage. Also in attendance are the service chiefs and other Nigerians who wanted to be part of history. The arrival of the president-elect and vice-president-elect shifted things into gear. But it was not until President Muhammadu Buhari arrived that the inauguration began in earnest. First, it was the swearing-in of the vice-president-elect Kashim Shettima. Then came the moment for President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu to be sworn in and fulfill his lifelong ambition to be Nigeria's president.
I, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The occasion took a sober mood during the lowering and hoisting of the national and defense flags by the armed forces, signaling the transfer of power to the newly sworn-in president and the end of an 8-year regime of former President Muhammadu Buhari. His first assignment as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces is to inspect the parade mounted in his honor. Some of the other events of the day are march past, air display by the Nigerian Armed Forces. In his inaugural speech, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu lauded the elections which brought him into power, saying Nigeria has never had an election of better quality.
The outcome reflected the will of the people. However, my victory does not render me any more Nigerian than my opponent, nor does this render them any less patriotic. They shall forever be my fellow compatriots, and I will treat them as such.
He also promised to honor his campaign commitment unveiled in his Renewed Hope agenda, one of which is creating 1 million new jobs and removing subsidy.
Unfortunately, the budget that I've glimpsed before I assume office and what I've heard is that no provision is there for fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy is gone.
The inauguration completes a formal transition of the senator, pro-democracy activist, former Lagos State governor and kingmaker to Nigeria's commander-in-chief, a reason enough for Nigerians to roll out the drums in expectation of what is to come. Ferdinand Roha, Arise News.
This is my motherland!
Well, we're joined now by former House of Representatives member and APC member, Reverend Dr. Uche Nwole.
Uche Nwole. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry for that.
Apologies.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, anyway, I think, well, apologies about the name mixed up there. Quickly here, let's talk about the moment. It's an interesting one, and it's good to think that a lot of other Nigerians are having such smile in their faces like yourself. Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk about his inaugural speech. To start with, what stood out for you on the day?
To be quite honest, I was a bit perplexed to see the energy that he demonstrated today. Unlike what people talked about in the past about him, but today was a different ballgame. It shows a man that has actually come to do what he's called for by the nation. And particularly, I join in his joy. He happened to be someone that I've known during the Nadeko days. And I happened to know him as well when he was a senator, when Senator Ayu was their Senate president. As a matter of fact, it was Ayu that introduced him to me then. And I remember that took place at the federal government guest house at the Bar Beach. He will remember.
He must be quite young then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've known him very, very well, and I appreciate his vigor in all that he tries to do. Quite frankly, an ambition of everybody, we work towards it. And he has worked tenaciously for his ambition to become president of Nigeria. Before I came for this program, I told somebody who were talking this, discussing this with me. I said, Bola Ahmed Tinubu today is a fulfilled man. If the world comes to an end after today, he's happy going back to God. You understand me? So because when you aspire and put in all you have, and then God crowns it with success. I'm a reverend, and I know that power comes from God. And he did not give himself the position like every other person that's aspiring.
But again, beyond being a fulfilled man,
Yes.
Nigerians will also want such fulfillment.
Yeah.
Yes. So now let's
A
speak.
mutually beneficial
yes. So
kind
let's
of
speak on
relationship.
that. And that's why I was asking if there was any part in that inaugural speech.
Yeah, in the inaugural speech, quite honestly, the area that struck me was already something, the area that is gaining grounds already since just this few hours ago that he was inaugurated as a president. A lot of people, the impression about this subsidy, is it going to bring difficulties to the country again? They've suffered, the last 8 years was hell from them. People are distributing certificate of survivor in the media houses.
Oh, you saw that?
I saw that as well. I didn't know how happy you saw that. Somebody sent me a certificate of survivor for the last 8 years of hell in the country. And then he came in and hammered on something. As a former lawmaker, that was a point. When he said that in the budget of 2023, there was no provision for fuel subsidy. So before he came on board, the budget for that was not, and you cannot act outside the budget. So if there were no provisions for it, then he should not be held responsible that he's the one that has removed the subsidy for the people.
Right. I mean, great point you make there. But before we even delve into all of the other details,
Yes.
really fine, beautiful, inspiring, inaugural speech by every standard. I'm sure a lot of Nigerians who had any doubts may have maybe fallen in love with our new president today. Let's talk about the oath, the significance of that oath taking. We actually take it for granted. But when you hear the president say that I do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, what does that really say to you? Because, I mean, it's not the first time we're hearing, president being sworn in actually repeat this oath. But how important, how significant really is it for you?
For me, it is the beginning of a commitment. It's the beginning of a contract. That you've taken a mandate, you've taken responsibility, and you are swearing an oath to start that mandate. Because whatever power that you've been given, that mandate, when you commit it to God and self, then there is a bond. And that you are now carrying the whole nation on your shoulders. That responsibility, that promise must be kept. So when you fail, you've not only failed yourself, you have failed yourself in this presence of God. The commitments and the hope and the yearnings of the people are so much that they expect from the conditions that they've been in the last 8 years, and you are coming to give them a ray of hope. There's a lot. So when you make a commitment and you take an oath of office from that day, it is only people who don't know what it is to connect the originality of every human being is with God. So when you fail and disappoint God, you failed yourself.
Indeed. Let's even talk about what he brings to the table. I mean, you already pointed out the fact that he always wanted this.
Yeah.
And he's said it over and over again. Made that point. He's the first former governor and senator to actually become president.
That's correct.
That really speaks to the fact that he's really prepared.
Definitely.
For this job, like he's always said.
Definitely.
What are your expectations? How optimistic are you? What exactly are you looking forward to from this new president?
First, I would want him to put his wealth of experience in governance. He's been there as governor, like you highlighted, and he's been a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and he knows the act of lawmaking, that it goes hand in hand. He's now in the executive arm, and the executive arm can't operate in isolation without the National Assembly. I was also of the opinion that right now, the current National Assembly members, I find them as the lucky ones who have a good relationship with a president that knows the art of governance.
You're talking about the 10th Assembly, right?
The 10th Assembly, exactly. The incoming National Assembly, yes.
Yeah.
No,
I
would dare not talk about the former National Assembly because I'm very honest that they are a big disappointment to the country. They didn't have a voice. They were just there as rubber stamps. They did nothing at all for the nation. So we are praying, because I believe in prayers, that whatever complaints you are going to make, I don't believe in people, talking down or destroying their leaders or abusing their leaders. No, because the Bible that I read tells me, Psalm 62:11, that once has God spoken, twice have we heard that all powers come from him and belong to him. So therefore, if you have a problem with God, whom God has given power at any particular time, the way to go about it is to go back to prayers. Go back to God in prayers. Lay all your complaints on the ground, and God, I'm sure, will know exactly how to deal with it.
But after you've done the prayers, there's the work to be done.
No, definitely. And I'm saying that they are complaints first.
Absolutely.
That's how you go about it first.
No, I thought it's the work before prayers.
Whichever, but
no, it can't be whichever. It can't be
they go together.
The Reverend gentleman is here, so it can't be whichever. I thought we were taught work and pray. Not pray and work.
No. It's not about him. I'm saying
right.
For the citizens.
I get it.
The citizens. The work is for him. I said, when people are doing badly, you don't attack your leaders. You don't attack your president. You pray for them.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Them. Okay.
So when you pray for them, then changes can be made from the authority that had given them that power. That's what I've said.
So now let's speak more about, you spoke a bit about petrol subsidy, which, there are queues now in some parts of Lagos already.
Exactly. Not only Lagos, right here.
I'm talking about Abuja. That's right. I'm talking about in Abuja. But quickly here, what do you think will ultimately happen with that statement? Because Nigerians are already in a panic mode. And he's spoken saying, look, I'm not the one who's taking this off. It's not there in the budget.
Exactly.
Clearly.
Exactly.
But as it stands, there must be, words being said sometimes can actually fix or break anything. And with this, something seemed to have been broken. And it's not a good start for the new president with scarcity or queues all in our faces. So what do we hope to see in the days ahead?
Well, for me, I think that to hit the ground running by the new government, they should have the people with the wealth of experience, knowledge on how to handle the citizens. Yes, subsidy is gone. Immediately after that statement, after his inaugural speech, I underlined that word and I went in and started digging deep on the consequences that will befall the nation. because of the subsidy withdrawal. And I had some interactions and discussions before coming on this program.
All right.
Now, and